All right. It says I'm live. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. Sorry that took forever. I have no idea what happened there. Very weird. Almost had to start a new stream, but I think we're good to go. So I will make sure I don't say much until I get the go ahead from you guys, because that was really weird. But I saw you had a lot of people waiting in, so I do appreciate you stopping by. If you are just now getting here, leave a like on the stream. Helps me out. I do appreciate it. Pushes it out to more eyeballs over on YouTube. Nate says I'm good. All right, I'll wait for some more confirmation, unless Nate just got really lucky and he's the only one that can hear me. But should be a fun race today. What's up, Phil? Man, Phil over from Osmo or Stochastic these days. What's up, man? Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, it should be a fun race today. I think there's a lot of good place differential plays. I think there's some trappy place differential plays today. And if it's anything like Sonoma, there's going to be a lot of drivers starting close to the front. They're going to be able to stay up front, be fast for the majority of the race. So it should be a fun slate. Definitely some places to fade, at least in my opinion, and try to get leverage on the field. Definitely some spots I'm trying to be overweight on, but should be a good one. Should be a good one. I don't really like watching road course races. They tend to get quite boring, and I usually find myself doing something else until stage 3. But for DFS purposes, they tend not to be too bad. So hopefully that trend continues. All right, everyone's saying we're good. All right, do appreciate that, guys. Sorry about the delay. Someone said it's the puppy's fault. It might be. Might be. He does like to chew on things. So, all right, I'll scroll to the top here. What's up? Joseph says Rick Ware Racing over JGR. Look, I don't like JGR today, or besides Christopher Bell, but I get it, but I can't say Rick Ware's better than JGR. But Cody Ware and Joey Hand, they were pretty fast in practice yesterday. Joey Hand was able to put up a top 10 in qualifying. Cody Ware was P14 in practice. So, I mean, you might be onto something. Maybe one of them does outrace a JGR car today. Certainly possible. Let's see. Jeremy, I'm just reading the bottom of the chat. Jeremy says it's a good day to eat some watermelon. I hope so. I had some last night, trying to manifest Ross Chastain to win or something today. But I got a lot of Ross. He's my favorite play up in the 10K plus range, and a lot of people are going to want to play Larson. People are going to play Elliott. I don't have a problem with them, but I'd rather be overweight on Chastain than I would a Larson or Elliott today, just because I feel like he's got similar finishing position upside by the end of the day, and he's starting like 10 spots further back. Well, 11 from Elliott, and I think quick math would say 9 behind Larson. So I would rather take the PD upside there, because even if Elliott does lead like 20 laps today, and let's say we give him like 10 to 12 fast laps, if he doesn't win the race, it's a good chance he's probably not going to be optimal. Like, looking at my projections, and keep in mind, I make very medium projections, so it's not like I give guys ceilings or anything, but I have Elliott projected for a 6.4 projected finish today, which theoretically is first of all drivers. I gave him 8.7 dominator points, which I believe is looking in the specifics for lap sled today for Elliott, because I know a lot of people are going to ask about Elliott today. So lap sled for him, I gave him, where's he? I gave him 14.8 lap sled, which is the most of all drivers, and 11 fast laps. And then once you factor everything in, that's about 41.9 fantasy points, which I believe is the second highest of all drivers. But again, if anything happens to him where he finishes, let's say 9th or something like that, and he doesn't lead a good chunk of laps, and really if he does lead laps, say he finishes 9th, that's probably not going to get the job done. So yes, it's Elliott at a road course, but I don't think he's a complete lock smash play today. I'm not going to go there in cash games personally. What's up, Andy? Got my wrenchman here. Do appreciate that. Andre says good morning. Andy's been killing the slots, by the way. He's been doing very well, so I gotta give him a shout out for that. I know there's a lot of strategy in slots. Nate says, best way to get different today? So the best way to get different, what I am doing today personally, I am playing just basically 0 of the JGR cars, or really all the Toyotas besides Christopher Bell. Bell is like the only Toyota that I'm playing today. I know it's not going to be like a contrarian strategy being kind of low on JGR today, but I'm just taking a stance where I'm going to be way overweight on guys like Blaney, Allmendinger, Chastain, and then just completely dismissing the JGR cars. Because I feel like people are still going to play Kyle Busch, people are going to play Truex just because of who they are, road courses. But for me personally, I'm just kind of not completely full fading, but I have like 3 to 5% of those drivers. So that is taking a stance, considering I think they're going to be around anywhere from like 13 to 16% owned. Just got a dono. Let's see, from my man Joe. Do appreciate that 50 bucks. Jeez, that's awesome. Appreciate that, man. You didn't have a question with it, but if you do, let me know. I'll answer it right away. But I do appreciate that. Thank you very much, Joe. I'm assuming you had a good week or something last weekend. Last week was really good, though. I was able to take down FanDuel for the second week in a row. And everything kind of played out how you thought would have played out, besides Truex and Busch finishing in the 20s at the very end of the race, because they told Busch not to pit, and then he pits, and it brought all the JGR cars down, I think, besides Christopher Bell. So that sucked. They were still good plays, obviously, but Truex went from a slate breaker to what, like 48, 49 points. Still fine, but kind of sucked at the end there. What's up, Andre? I already said that. What's up, Luis? Good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning. I think it's still morning. Yeah, barely. Barely. Joseph says, hopefully there's not a wreck like the F1 race today. Yeah, I saw, it was like lap 1. Someone I think someone about died. I forget what his name was. Zeus or something. Starts with a Z, I thought. But yeah, that was crazy. I know they're talking about that in Discord. What's up, Clint? Good morning. Happy race day and happy 4th, America. I agree. Happy early 4th of July. I kept thinking 4th of July was on Sunday this year. I guess it's not. But happy early 4th of July and happy race day. Should be fun. Nate says, turned on F1, what they were saying about fans running on track or planning something. I saw there was like a bunch of chaos today in F1. I don't really follow it, but people in the Discord were talking about it, but it's not my cup of tea. Plus it starts way too early in the morning. What's up, FE? Hello, race fam. Yeah, what's up, man? Should be a fun one today. I already have my DraftKings crunch in. I gotta do my 3 max, and then I gotta work on FanDuel still, but I'm going to get the DraftKings crunch in. And I feel pretty good about the DraftKings crunch. I am pretty evenly exposed today. Obviously, like I said, I have my kind of fade spots and my overweight spots, but I have exposure to a lot of drivers. The 8K range is loaded, and I have a lot of it, so pretty spread out. And a lot of balanced lineups today for the most part. SS Jackson says, hey CP, driving to the race right now. Of the popular drivers, who is your best GPP fade? What's up, SS? Hopefully you enjoy the race today at Road America. As far as the popular drivers, who's the best GPP fade? Of the popular drivers, I would say probably like a Kevin Harvick. And I'm not saying I don't like Kevin Harvick today, but he was super slow in practice. The only problem is he was really good at Sonoma, and he was solid at Coda earlier in the year. So it's kind of like, what am I supposed to do with Kevin Harvick this weekend? He's locked in cash games. I still have close to, I think I have in the upper 30s in exposure today, but there is so many good pivots around him, like Bowman, Briscoe, Cindric, Reddick. I don't really like Kurt Busch. I like Bell, Daniel Suarez. Like, these are all solid pivots off of Kevin Harvick. So I think you should lock him in for cash games, and I still think he's a good play overall today. There are so many good pivots to get away from Kevin Harvick today. Like, there's a chance where he's just running like upper 20s today. Maybe he doesn't crack that top 15, which you're going to need from him. But a guy like Alex Bowman, he's running the top 5 for the majority of the day. Same could be said for Reddick or Cindric. So I would say maybe the best fade, just to try to get contrarian, would be like a Harvick. Not to say a full fade him, but being underweight on him could be beneficial to you. But I found myself being able to play a lot of Harvick with a lot of these other 8K range drivers. And then be getting away from a guy like Byron to a dinger. Ryan Blaney is a good way to go as well. Minnie says, yes, the stream's fault. It was something. It was someone's fault. I'm not sure who it was. Couldn't get it to work. I just reset it and it worked. So I'm glad it was all good all good at the end. Brother Andy with the wrench. Yep. Andy flexing that wrench. You know how it is. Is that Rowdy Dorito? Smash that like. Yeah, for sure. Also, I need to check how many people we have in the DraftKings contest. So if you haven't yet joined, I think I'm pointing the right way. At Chris Pennell 16 on Twitter. You can hit the link and it'll take you to my contest. I am pulling it up right now. We have, 23 spots left. So if you haven't yet joined, I'll pop the link in chat so we can fill that up. We always usually do fill it up, so shouldn't be a problem. But let's see, where we at? Has anyone seen Molly? I have not seen Molly, but that's the name of the username here. Someone give me a lineup to whoop my 3 coworkers. I have no idea. Well, I don't want to give out a lineup today, but I would say if you're playing your coworkers, I don't know how much into NASCAR DFS they are, how much knowledge they have, but I would probably be playing Blaney. I'd be probably playing Harvick, Chastain, William Byron, Daniel Suarez, and then you could probably fill out the rest there. But I'd probably have those guys for sure. Got another donut from a man, Mass here. Appreciate that, C-Pen. What's up, Mass? Appreciate the donut with that. Me and Mass's thing every time. I missed you the past couple of days. You weren't in Discord. But I do appreciate the dono, Mass. Mass hand builds 150 lineups, I think, every week, and he does well. I don't know how he does it. I can barely build one hand building, so I don't know how he does 150. But multi-time lug winner. Gotta give a shout out to my man Mass. Do appreciate that. Cameron says, good morning, Chris. Hope everyone is enjoying the holiday weekend. What's up, Cameron? Yeah, should be a fun one. I'm going to try to find something to do. I know parking and traffic's going to be awful in Florida tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do anything, but it'd be nice to see some fireworks somewhere at a beach or something, but I'm not sure how feasible that will be. What's up, Steven? Should be a good one today. Looking forward to, well, I say a good one. I'm hoping it's a good one for DFS purposes. It'll probably be boring to watch. I never get my hopes up for road courses. They just get a little bit boring for me. Under says, hate technical difficulties. I do too. Haven't had them. A couple years ago and last year we used to have them all the time, but I figured it out a little bit. And then Pixel says it's the puppy's fault. Might be chewing on some cords out there. Josh says, hi Chris, DK Cash. What's up, Josh? Chastain, Bell, Byron, Harvick, Suarez, and Haley. Thank you. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm trying to see if you're missing anybody that would I would think be major chalk. You got Byron, Harvick, Haley. Love those guys for cash, like Suarez, like Chest. I'm surprised that even fits. Yeah, I like that lineup a lot. Like it a lot. I'm personally going to probably try to play Blaney today in cash games, but I mean, Bell and Blaney could be pretty interchangeable for the most part. I have more confidence in Ryan Blaney today, but overall it's a very solid lineup, and I got no issues with that at all. It's a very good lineup for cash. Chris Palmer says chewed cords. Might be. Sasson says, that's coming someday soon. Certainly probably is. All right, got to all the good messages now. Appreciate you guys letting me know. Working great. What's up, Philip? Eric says C-Pen the GOAT. No, Eric with the K is the GOAT. Do appreciate you stopping by. What's up, Adam? Good. Loud and clear. What's up, Mike? Good afternoon, Chris. Had a good week. Last race, spent $60, brought home $160. That's the way to do it. Do appreciate that. I know you're over on the Patreon too, so thank you for that as well. Had a lot of people sign up like today, this morning, so if you're one of those people, I do appreciate it. I'll be having sim scores up after this live stream, and then everything else I need to do as well. Phil says, Chris, I still can't pronounce it correctly. I just tell people I write for Stunktastic. I like it. I also had a version of Stokastimo. That sounds pretty good, Stokastimo. I don't know, it rolls off the tongue. But Stokast, I gotta get it in my head. It's just so hard to remember. I'm so used to saying Osmo. But I like Stunktastic as well. What's up, Charles? What's up, Chris? Appreciate all you do. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you being here. Steve says, sounds like you were taking a pit stop. No, I'm just glad the stream's working. I was getting a little nervous. I remember last year I had to do it a few times. It wasn't good. What's up, Paper Chaser? Let's see. Let's do it. Chris says, Cash, Bell and Haley, or Blaney and Ty Dillon. I know exactly which lineups you're talking about, Chris, and that's the one I'm between. So there's a cash lineup today. It's either, well, obviously you have the obvious guys. You have William Byron, you have Harvick, you have Suarez, and I'm sure you can figure out the rest. I believe the one has Dinger in it, but you can either go Bell and Haley or Blaney and Ty Dillon. As of right now, the one I hand build was Blaney and Ty Dillon. That lineup has overall more speed and very similar place differential upside. You lose a few spots with Ty Dillon to Haley, but you gain a couple of spots with Blaney and Bell, or Blaney versus Bell. Personally, for me, I feel like I'm going to lean Blaney and Ty Dillon, but the thing is, I hate not having Haley in cash games, because I feel like he's going to be extremely high. I don't think he's an awesome play today, but I want to play Blaney as well, because if the JGR struggles catches up with Christopher Bell, it's going to be rough. So I'm going to lean Blaney right now, but I do think the Haley side could be slightly higher owned. OS says Briscoe and Blaney or Cindric and Bell for DraftKings GPP. I'm going to go with the Cindric and Bell side there. I like Cindric a little bit more than Briscoe today. Not that Briscoe's a bad play, but Cindric gets me an extra couple PD spots, and he looked really good. Obviously, so did Briscoe, but I mean, starting in second, I have around, I want to say 17% Briscoe today, but I am in the 20s for Cindric. Gideon says, lottery ticket of the day, Joey Hand $10 to win $25.10. That's pretty good. The thing is, I can't see a Rick Ware car winning the race, but he was fast. Like, he was really fast. Honestly, I thought he was going to get the pole for a second during qualifying, and now that Briscoe was going to have the pole locked up and then chase Ellie got it at the end. But Hand's been really fast this week, and it wouldn't surprise me if he kind of hangs around the top 12 for a good chunk of the day. It's just, is it going to hold up during the rest of the race? Because I know at Coda, Joey Hand was awesome during that race, but I just have my concerns because he's in a Rick Ware car, if it'll hold up, and at the end it didn't. But we'll see what happens. He's fast, though. If there's ever a time for Rick Ware car to win outside of a super speedway, this could be it with Joey Hand. Got a donut from a man Spread. Do appreciate that. Big donuts today. Do appreciate it, guys. Good morning, boss. What's up, Spread? I know you were enjoying the fights last night. I forget if it was you or C. Austin that said they were 13 deep. I'm glad you're awake. Let's see. Charles says Joey Hand wins today, running fourth, and 1, 2, 3 wrecks themselves on the last lap. That's probably the only way Joey Hand would win. I think he's going to run well today. Like I said, though. Is that car going to hold up? It could. It could. It's not like it's a 500-mile race or anything. And obviously, equipment doesn't matter too much at road courses. But for him to win, we're probably going to have some guys wreck like Coda and like the last start, and Joey Hand just comes out of nowhere and wins. Obi says, happy fun day, fellas. What's good, Chris? What's up, Obi? Happy fun day. Always a good day for NASCAR, plus a long weekend, obviously. So should be a good one. Rick says, playing against 6 other guys on FanDuel, Chris, should I run a cash lineup or GPP? So if I'm running against 6 people, are they usernames you recognize? Like, is it mock? Is it's like good, like, you know, DFS players that you recognize? I'd probably try to get a pivot in there because they're gonna have a very chalky cash lineup and you might end up tying with them. If it's just a bunch of randos, like, maybe you could go cash because they're probably not gonna have an optimal build, but if you're with some experienced players, I would probably build pretty close to cash and then get a pivot or 2 in there. But don't go rogue. Just, you know, like a decent pivot. Like maybe instead of a William Byron, you go to a Ryan Blaney or something like that. Let's see. Kevin says, would you play Byron instead of Crash Stain? Well, I believe I have more Chastain today. Let me check my exposures. Projection-wise, I think Chastain's a better play today, so if it came down to it, I would pick Chastain, but it is about a $1,300 price difference over on DraftKings. But exposures today, I have 0.7% more William Byron than I have Chastain today. I mean, they're 2 of my favorite plays in the slate, but if it comes down to it, 1v1, I'd rather play Chastain. Like, Byron's a good play today, but he's not a lock to get a top 10. And if Chastain stays clean today, I mean, I'd say he's close to a lock for a top 5. Kenna says Suarez all the way. I love Suarez today, Kenna. He's my highest owned driver right now. I love the price point. Showed me some speed in practice. Trackhouse cars have been amazing at road courses. I mean, I don't really have anything bad to say about Suarez at all. He's my highest owned driver today. And it was really cool to see him win at Sonoma. That was really cool. Trevor Sanders here. What's up, man? Had a dream where the other night McDowell won. So if that's not a sign to play him, I don't know what is. Hey, I've got a decent amount of McDowell today. I know he's starting in 6th, but I mean, him and Busher, they've been fast, and I think he can kind of hold a top 8 today. And if it's going to be hard to pass, we'll have that track position to work with. But yeah, I can get behind some McDowell. I had a dream last night. I won the 100K on DraftKings. I woke up and I was like, you know, it takes you a minute to realize it wasn't real, and it's like, I'm so upset. I was so happy in that dream. But fortunately, that was not real. Big Girl says, is Kyle starting in the back? If you mean Kyle Busch, yes, he is going to the back with an engine issue. I just don't like the JGR cars in general today, besides Christopher Bell, so pretty low on Kyle Busch, which feels weird to say because I would normally love Kyle Busch running 13th at a road course, especially a technical road course, but they just really haven't had the speed so far this year. Obi-Wan says, Brooklyn BS took first in your contest. You know, I do apologize, Obi. I was going to put the top 5 out in the video, and then as soon as I exported it, I realized I forgot. But if I went back and done it with the video when it came out for another couple hours, so I couldn't do it, but I do apologize for that. But congrats on getting first last week. That's awesome. It's a tough thing to do. The contest has a lot of good players in it. See the lovely girlfriend Julian is here. Good morning. Sunshine. Yes, it's very sunny today. Very sunny. Joanne's here. Good afternoon, holiday to all. Hi, Chris. Here for my weekly DFS educational session. Thanks. You're welcome, Joanne. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here. Hopefully you keep up the good work. So mom's here as well. Good morning, bud. Happy race day, NASCAR fans, and happy 4th of July. Let's go, Logano. Good luck, everyone. I have some Joey today, so I'm not anti-Joey this weekend, so I can get behind him with you. I was last week, but this is a fun week for Joey. He's an interesting pivot off of Blaney or Allmendinger. Can be lower owned, but I think he's got somewhat similar upside. I don't like him as much, but we'll be a little bit lower owned. Michael says, Prize Picks has Elliott at 50.5 fantasy points. You take on the under. So projection-wise, I would take the under if I was forced to, but I stayed away from it because I can see a scenario where he leads a good chunk of laps and wins. But yeah, it was one of those spots where I didn't want to really attack that. What I mostly did on Prize Picks, I took the well, I can probably just pull it up and make it easier for me. I know it was a bunch of unders though. It was on the JGR card, so trying to see if any of them changed. I took the Truex under 41.5. I took the Busch under 40.5. And then I took the under on Kurt Busch at 36.5. So if Toyotas are good today, well, it's not going to be a good day for me whatsoever, but we got to take our stances, right? So those are the ones I took. I also took Larson under, I believe it was 9.5 laps led. I think it's down to 8.5 now. And then I took Suarez over 6.5 cars passed, but that's now up to 7.5. So that's what I did on Prize Picks. Exactly what I did today. We'll see what happens. But wasn't really loving the props. I like the weeks where dominator points are going to be abundant for Prize Picks because some of those numbers are way too low. Like last week, Chase Elliott opened at 40.5. Then he went down to like 38.5. Just kind of a joke. I mean, obviously it's a concrete track. Chase Elliott's bread and butter. Very easy over. Martin Truex Jr. was only at 40 points. I mean, I thought he was going to be a dominator. Like, I like when there's dominator points mixed in because, Prize Picks won't juice some of those guys up enough. Happy 4th of July, yeah, for sure. For sure, I like the firework emoji as well. Andre says, how's the puppy? Puppy's doing good. He just likes to bite a lot. That's for sure. Cameron says, it's 45% Elliott and a 20 max entry, I'm assuming. Too heavy. It's a lot heavier than I am. If you are playing Elliott today, if you think he wins, if you think he dominates, yeah, play that much Chase Elliott. But I'm just factoring in there's going to be instances during the race. Guys are going to stay out, guys are going to pit. It's not a lock that he stays up front the entire race, and that's not going to be the case. So I think there's going to be enough variance to where I wouldn't play that much Chase Elliott personally. But if you think he comes out, you think he leads 20-some laps and he wins the race, yeah, you're going to want that much Chase Elliott because he'll be in the optimal. But while I think he's the best bet to win the race, it's not really something I'm banking on in about half my lineups. I'm more so in about a quarter of my laps with Chase Elliott. Which is saying a lot for Chase because normally, the Pole Sitter road course, I barely play at all. So having around 25% of a driver on the Pole road course shows that, yeah, he's pretty darn awesome at them. Kevin says, I'm not fading McDowell anymore. When he starts in the top 10, somehow he always stays near the front on road courses. Yeah, I'm playing some Michael McDowell as well. I only had like 3%, I want to say, last road course, and he obviously did very well. So I'm going to bump him up. I don't think too much is going to change. I think he can contend in the top 10 for the majority of the day. Him and Chris Buescher both. So I have pretty similar exposure on both of them. But I do prefer Buescher over McDowell today just a little bit more. But they're pretty similar plays. Joe says, good morning, Chris. In Las Vegas this week, we can't play DK. Thanks to your help. Won the Gurney last week. Oh, so that's where the dono came from. I do appreciate that. Yeah, that's awesome. What's the Gurney payouts? What, 5,000? Right? 5,000, I think. That's awesome. All cash games and finish high in the engineer. Great. Keep up the good work, Joe. That's awesome. Hopefully you have some good luck in Vegas if you're betting today. Eric says, Doodle Squad, what's up? Oh yeah, I forgot Eric's part of Doodle Squad as far as the dogs are concerned. Hopefully the fireworks aren't too bad for me. Yeah, let's hope not. Let's hope not. And then my boy Duke did not like the fireworks at all. You'd always go hide. I always felt bad. Dustin says, Chase, Chastain, McDowell, Buescher, Eric, Jones, and Bowman in a GPP. Yeah, it's fine for tournaments. I mean, McDowell's obviously a good tournament play, so is Chris Buescher. They're nice pivots off of guys like Ty Dillon and Justin Haley down low. And Stenhouse, yeah, it's fine. I have no problem with that, Albert. Not sure about Stenhouse, though. Yeah, I don't have too much Stenhouse today. Normally I'd have a lot more starting in P33, but I think he's one of those trap plays today. Like Todd Gilliland, I mean, I wouldn't really call him a trap because he's just some scrub driver, but I could see him ending being a trap. I could see Eric Jones being a trap, Eric Almirola being a trap, Kurt Busch being a trap. Like, yeah, they offer PD upside, but it's not, they didn't really show much to where we should really trust them too much today. Like, yeah, I think Stenhouse is going to contend for a top 25, but, you know, let's say McDowell finishes top 5. I'd rather have Michael McDowell in that scenario. Brad Keselowski maybe contends for a top 8. I'd rather have Keselowski there. I mean, if we're looking at Stenhouse's speed, 27th the 1 lap, 18th in the 5 lap, 25th place average finish at the technical road courses the past couple of seasons. He's finished 25th and 37th at road courses this year. Had some better numbers last season, but yeah, I mean, I just feel like he's going to be one of those guys that's a trap if there's attrition today or just shows somehow surprises us with speed. Yeah, it'll work out, but I'm planning on being underweight on both him and Jones today. Clint says, there you go, talking bad about my guy Harvick again. Well, I was giving a scenario, Clint. I still like Harvick today. If Harvick does well, I will be happy. It's not. I don't want him to do bad today. I'm just giving you a scenario where maybe you don't have to lock him, but I still like Kevin Harvick quite a bit. It just, the only concerns I have is he just didn't show me any speed. But with him being fast at Sonoma, and he's just always been good at technical road courses, I'm willing to give him a bit of a pass there. Let's see. Jake says Busch or McDowell are going to be optimal. It's possible. I feel like it's more likely one of them between the two is optimal. But I mean, I could see a scenario where both are if they finish in the top 5. But I think one will. I'm not sure both will be. But it could be close. Josh says, if you were running one cash lineup, would you play Bowman or Harvick? Oh, if I'm playing cash, it's definitely Harvick. Bowman, sure, that's fine in tournaments. But if I'm playing cash games, I'll just eat the chalk with Harvick there. Jake says Bowman over Harvick. I think in tournaments, that's a strong way to go. I mean, I'd say Bowman's more likely to finish top 5 than Kevin Harvick is to probably finish top 10 today. But at the same time, he's also starting 20 spots further back. So if you're playing cash games, it's definitely Harvick. But in tournaments, I have no problem at all going with Bowman over Harvick. OS says play Briscoe and Cindric together. I'm not going to go out of my way to do it, but if it ends up kind of landing there, I think that's fine. But if I'm building a single entry, I'm probably not going to end up doing that. I'd probably pick one of those drivers. Like, I'd probably pick one of Reddick, Cindric, or Briscoe, personally. But if you're building multiple lineups today, I don't think that's an issue having both, because they could finish 1-2 today. That's certainly possible. And he says, Mass is an animal. He sure is. I don't know how he does it. I mean, you know me in Discord, I'm struggling to build 3 lineups for the Junebug. And the Mass is just firing away 150 and taking his exposures on his notes app on his phone. I don't know how he does it, but... Right, Dorito says, any concerns with Blaney's pit strategy? Continuing to stay out? I don't have any concerns with it today. It shouldn't be an issue. If it is, well, I guess I'll just eat the L there, but I don't think we're going to have an issue with Blaney today. He should be fine. $1 Million Sean here. What's up? Says, hi, boss man, listening while driving. Can you give a shout out to my mom? Yes, I sure can. So I don't know her name, so I guess let's just call her Mama Sean. Shout out to your son. He's awesome. He won the $1 million on DraftKings. You should be very proud. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of your drive today. I know you guys were in Utah. Maybe you're in the Ford Bronco. I know Sean got one today or yesterday or whatever day it was. Trevor says, FanDuel attorney, Chastain, Suarez, McDowell, Reddick, and Blaney. I have not yet built my FanDuel crunches yet, but I am going to say that's probably pretty darn good because I'm going to have a good chunk of Blaney over on FanDuel. He actually might end up being my highest owned driver, his price point. I believe he's only $10,000 over there compared to other guys. It's pretty darn cheap, actually, especially when you mix in his PD upside. Then I like Chastain a lot. I like Suarez. Yeah, it's very solid. Very solid for FanDuel. I'm not doing any single entry on FanDuel today or 3 max. I don't even know if they have 3 max. I'm just doing the straight 150 over there, but I'll definitely have a good chunk of those drivers. Chris says, favorite play in the 8K range for attorneys? In the 8K range for attorneys, probably Tyler Reddick for me. $8,600 starting in 4th. I know he doesn't have as good as odds as Austin Cindric or Chase Briscoe, but he had a very fast car in practice. So those other guys did as well, but I definitely think Reddick has a chance to win this race. Plus, he's got to sell it for a win here too anyway, so Could be a bit of a boom or bust play like Tyler Reddick usually is, but I think he's in a very solid spot for tournaments. Dustin says, why did Awesome Mode change its name? I'm not 100% sure. I read the presentation on it. I believe it was to be more broad, something with sports betting. And stochastic means like a random variable or something like that. But I'm not 100% sure why they changed it. Not 100% sure. Neil says, who is the lowest driver you'll play in a GPP on DraftKings? Lowest driver I would play is, I would really prefer not to go much lower than Corey LaJoie, but I mean, Harrison Burton's viable, but I wouldn't play anybody in the 4K range personally. So anybody in the 5K range is fine, but I draw the line once we get to the Ware, Blicki, Tilley, and Heisman's, I'm not sure what it is. Jack says OTS like stoked to be spastic. You lost me on that one. FD says price picks. What I did was I just took the unders on some of the JDR cards, not Bell, but the other ones, and then Kurt Busch as well. Yeah, I know I'm really behind in the chat, so I probably already answered that. You probably saw it. Mundo says, thoughts on Gilland, hashtag Gilly Gang. It's always a fun thing to say, Gilly Gang. I think he's kind of pricey, to be honest. Like, I would rather play Custer. I'd rather play Dillon. I'd rather play Busher. I'd rather play Haley. And I'd rather play Ty Dillon. So I don't really like Todd Gilliland too much today. I think he's fine in the sense where he will be lower owned than Haley. But, I mean, 36 in the 1 lap in practice, 24th in the 5 lap. Looking at his finishes at road courses this year, though, not terrible. 16th at Coda, 14th, 24th at Sonoma. Like, he's okay, but I mean, I'd just rather get the Haley. I trust Haley a little bit more. He finished 12th at Sonoma, 15th at Coda. I believe 8th at the Indy Road Course last year. I'm just not really a huge fan of Gillen today. A little pricey. If he was in the low 5K range, sure. But at 6K flat, I mean, it's a bit much for a driver that you're just hoping for a top 25. And he says, does a contest exist that... Yeah, that's a fair point. Mock's in just about everything. He'll be in your quarter contest. He'll be in your $10,600 format. Does not matter. Mock will be there. Just waiting and praying on you. Very true. Chad says, am I going to regret Blaney over Byron on DK? I don't think you'll regret it. I think both will do well today, but you're going to get Blaney a little bit lower owned. So even if he does completely smash Byron, I feel like you should be you should feel good about getting the lower ownership on Blaney. Both are fantastic plays, and I have a lot of them together. Gary says, thoughts on Haley today? Haley's one of the best plays on the slate. P34 is where he's starting. He's below 6K. He has 2 top 15s at road courses this year. As long as he doesn't have an issue, I'd have a hard time seeing him not contend for a top 20. So, yeah, gotta like Justin Haley a lot. Albert, 2 of your messages got retracted. Hopefully you didn't. I don't know what happened there. Maybe you did it on purpose. You're welcome, Obi. King Entrepreneur says, this is a road race this week. It is. So if you're new to NASCAR DFS for road courses, not usually many laps at these. This is a 4-mile racetrack, 62 laps, which means I think 43.4 dominator points. If you times that by 0.7, so not a lot. So really, you're not building dominator groups. You don't really care too much about lap leaders. It's all about where these guys finish and the place differential they offer you. Hey, you got to get a little bit lucky in Obi-Wan. You got to get lucky in the contest. So while you can build good lineups, you definitely have to have some luck. So it's just your turn, and shout out to you winning. It's definitely a tough thing to do. Definitely is. Michael says Elliott or Larson. If I had to pick between the two, it's going to be Elliott. I know Larson offers you a couple more PD spots, but I think Elliott's got a better chance to stay up front than Larson. Joshua Gandy says, DK Cash, Blaney, Byron, Haley, Harvick, Suarez. Is Dinger the last man in? Thanks, C. Penn. Yeah, no problem at all, Josh. Yeah, I would say Dinger would be the last man in there. I don't know exactly how much salary you have remaining, but I think that's one of the lineups I built yesterday, but it would definitely be Dinger for me. Because while I like Reddick, Cindric, Briscoe, those kind of guys, I wouldn't play them in cash games. So, yeah, it would definitely be Dinger for me. Albert says I joined the NASCAR League this year. There are about 200 people in it, divided into 3 groups. Winner of each group gets tickets to a race in Vegas. Oh, that's awesome. I think it's Vegas later this season. Driver pool is tiered by overall regular season points, and everyone is able to choose a driver from each of the 4 tiers. Scoring is the same as DK. Most points win. That seems kind of confusing. We do something like that in the Discord. Our man Dude puts together a contest for us. So, but if you have a question about it, I'll try to answer it if I can get some scoring context on that. But it sounds fun if you can get tickets to a race for it. Avery says Blaney, Busher, or Chastain in a 5K guy. It would be different if it's a cash or tournament question. I would probably say Blaney, Busher there though. Probably be my. If it is Chastain though, I'd go with Justin Haley with him. Pardon, your message got retracted. Man, a lot of people's messages are retracted. I'm not sure if what's happening there. Chandler says Chastain, Austin Dillon, Blaney, Suarez, Harvick, and Bowman. Thoughts? Well, I love Chastain up top. I love Blaney. I like Suarez. Yeah, I think it's a very solid lineup. It's pretty balanced as well. Your cheapest driver, I believe, is Austin Dillon. And honestly, all those drivers could finish in the top 15, top 10. So I think that's fine. Chandler looks pretty solid to me. So let me check the DraftKings contest, see how we're doing on that. All right, we have 9 spots left. So if you're not yet joined the contest, well, we have about 3 hours until lock, so I'd recommend getting in soon. Gary says, what about Rick Ware Racing today? Their practice times were out of nowhere. Yeah, Cody Weber's fast. Obviously, Joey Hand, he is actually someone that I'd actually maybe consider today. But they're kind of in tough spots. Well, Cody Ware's in a tough spot because he's Cody Ware. Joey Hand, on the other hand, no pun intended there, he's starting in the top 10. Like, if Joey Hand finished 9th today, that would be incredible. The problem is, he's starting up beside guys like Ty Dillon, Justin Haley, all starting in the 30s. And Ty Dillon actually showed similar speed to Joey Hand. Justin Haley has a couple top 15s at road courses already this year. So it's tough to kind of click on Joey Hand at that starting spot because that's kind of his ceiling today. I would be shocked if Joey Hand improves upon 9th. Could he finish in the top 12, top 15? Sure, that's certainly possible. But if Ty Dillon and Justin Haley get top 20s from where they're starting, I'd rather have them in my lineups. So that's the thing. I mean, Rick Ware, yes, they were fast. And road courses can kind of negate equipment for the most part. Obviously, the next gen car's done a good job of that as well, but do have a tougher time trusting them. Let's see. David says, I got Blaney, Busher, Byron, Elliott, Suarez, and Dillon in tournaments. What do you think? Well, I like Elliott. I like Byron. I like Blaney, Suarez. Yeah, I think that's very solid. I'm assuming that's Ty Dillon, even if it's Austin Dillon. I like both of them today, so I think it's a pretty solid lineup as far as tournaments are concerned. See, Austin says, can you give Andy's AA sponsor a shout out? I don't think so, because the sponsor's not doing a good job from what I've heard the past couple of days. I know. If you were in the Discord, Andy, a little trip to I think it was a liquor store a couple of days ago. All right, sorry, I just heard a Slack message, just making sure I wasn't missing anything. That's weird. Anyway, Phil says Chastain and Cash too high up to the grid to start with. No, if I'm playing an expensive driver in Cash today, it's gonna be Chastain. Personally, I'm not sure which route I want to go with, because if you avoid Chastain and you go with Dinger, you can get Justin Haley in. If you go the Ross Chastain route, you kind of have to dip down a little bit more, which I'm not 100% sure I want to do. So while I love Chastain today, I wouldn't call him a cash lock, but he's definitely the one driver above Blaney that I would consider in cash today. Everybody else I wouldn't play in cash, personally. Earl says, what channel is the race on? Inside joke that I'm sure some of you get. He says he won't even smile, because I smile a little bit. It was funny. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. OS says play Elliott and Chastain together. That's fine, but I would not play Elliott and Larson today. That's if you're gonna build one group today, I would say put Elliott and Larson together and put a max of one per lineup. I think it's gonna be near impossible for two 11K plus drivers in a 62 lap race, starting first and third, to be both in the optimal lineup. And even then, I feel like one of them in the optimal will be kind of tough today. So that's like the one group I would probably end up having. Aaron says most of my lineups are having 5 to 12,000 left over. Oh my goodness. I'd be kind of curious what kind of lineups you're building with that. I mean, I think it's fine to leave money on the table today, but might be a bit much for me. I'm gonna build just 20 without settings here and see what my average salary left would be. So yeah, I'm typically using most of the salary, so I'm kind of curious what kind of lineups you got going on. Not saying it can't work. It is a road course, but it seems a tad aggressive. Raphael says, is it smart to play Larson, Ellie, and Briscoe in the same lineup? No, I would not do that today. That's just not. It's not going to be optimal. Even if Larson finishes like in the top 3, for Larson to be optimal, he's got to win today, and he's going to have to lead some laps. And Elliott, obviously, if Larson wins, well, Elliott didn't win, and he's going to have to win to be optimal pretty much. So don't see that happening. Briscoe, he's the one where you get a little bit flexible because of that price point. But even then, he does not have much leeway to lose spots today. So I wouldn't do that personally. You're welcome, Obi. Eric says, good luck, everyone. I have a really good feeling about today. I hope so. I hope so. There's a lot of good plays today, which means there's a lot of traps. So I'm hoping I identified the right traps and I'm on the right guys. David, your message got retracted again. OS says, do you like Christopher Bell? I do. He's like the one Toyota I like today. I have a good chunk of him. Showed some speed in practice. Looking at his numbers, 12th in the 1 lap, 6th in the 5 lap. Everybody else, his JGR teammates, got stuck in the 20s and teens for the most part. So he's the one guy I've been getting to. Bubba showed some speed too, but I just don't typically play Bubba at road courses. Yeah, Honor says hit the like button, hit the like, folks, help CP out. Yeah, I think that's gonna be just about it. I think I caught up to the chat, so do appreciate the donos today. If you have any more dire questions, you can let me know. Follow me on Twitter at ChrisPennell16. I'll try to get back to you if you want to tweet me. And if you join the Patreon, Discord community, all that fun stuff, links down below for that, beginning of the month. Best time to do so. Lots of extra content over there, but appreciate everyone stopping by today. Thank you for dealing with the technical difficulties. Hope you enjoy your July 4th, and I'll see you all next time.